I've been absolutely hooked by WoW Classic over the past few weeks. Somehow I missed out playing WoW 15 years ago, and going through the vanilla version with fresh eyes has been an absolute blast. During my playtime, I've noticed a lot of fantastic game design features that I thought would help greatly improve the Destiny sandbox as it transitioned into more of an MMO type game. I've compiled these thoughts into 7 different topics to discuss. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave a comment below letting me know if you agree or disagree on any of these ideas. So topic number 1 is the value of items you acquire in WoW and the overall economy of the game. In WoW, there's a feeling that everything you acquire in the game has some sense of value. Even trash gray items can be sold to vendors and build up some gold. As I create this video, I'm approaching level 40 and saving up to buy my very first mount. This means I'm running around the fields skinning beasts for leather that I can sell to vendors and farming rare items that I can sell in the auction house to make some big cash gains. Everything I choose to do has an end goal in mind for my next progression milestone. I have to mentally weigh if it's worth buying my next skill or weapon upgrade, knowing that it will take away from my mount savings budget and potentially take longer to acquire one. This type of decision-making process makes every single item feel intrinsically valuable. In Destiny, there's an overall sense that acquiring new items doesn't matter unless it's a new exotic that you're missing or a god roll on some sort of legendary weapon or armor piece. Getting blue drops to dismantle feels like a chore, and there's not really a sense of having a larger goal or reason to save up any glimmer. In my experience, glimmer and materials are mostly spent on infusing gear, which just isn't a very satisfying experience. It's not like you can save up a bunch of glimmer to buy some sweet weapon, sparrow, or a ship. Also, since there's no item trading or marketplace auction house system in order to sell items to other players, there's very little incentive to grind for items unless it's a direct upgrade to your current best roll. Imagine grinding out a god roll spare rations and being able to sell it on the in-game marketplace for 1 million glimmer because you already had a similar roll and you really don't need the new one. I think the economy of Destiny could greatly improve, which would give more incentive to grind items and also add depth to both the leveling and the endgame. Topic number 2 is group roles. In WoW, you're not going into a dungeon without a healer or tank unless you're a masochist or you're way overleveled. Having specific roles gives you a sense of purpose in a group. If you're supposed to be a tank and you're not able to hold the aggro of a pack of mobs, your group is likely to wipe and have to start the encounter all over again. If your job is to heal and you let your tank die, you're going to have some big problems. If you're a DPS player and you don't burn down a high priority target quickly, things can get out of hand fast. We've started to get a bit of these roles with Lumina coming into the game recently, and Warlocks having their middle tree Dawnblade option for healing, but I'd love to see them take this way further. It would be awesome to see each class be able to spec into a tank, support, or DPS focused role. This takes us to topic number 3, in-depth character talent trees and skill options. This is one area Destiny 2 took a big step backwards from Destiny 1 in my opinion. We used to have the ability to pick and choose which skills we wanted from a complex skill tree, and now that's been relegated to mostly choosing a subclass with top, middle, or bottom tree, and then choosing a few options for your jump, grenade, and class ability. I'd love to see the pendulum swing back hard in the other direction where we can choose skills individually and have a comprehensive talent system for character buffs that allows us to spec into a particular role or build. Along the same lines as topic number 4, professions. In WoW, you can choose 2 professions which your character specializes in. These are things like leatherworking, blacksmithing, alchemy, or engineering. This provides you with a whole side progression system and infuses the auction house marketplace with materials required to advance various professions. It's a fun side aspect of the game that adds incredible depth to the endgame and also increases your value in a group of friends or in a guild. For example, in my small group, we have one guy focused on leatherworking, he's making armor for all of us, another creating bags to hold more gear, and an alchemist creating potions and so on. Imagine this in Destiny if you had a weapon crafting specialist, a space magic alchemist who created various buffs and consumables, a guardian welder who created armor upgrade packs to help improve your gear, a sparrow master who could forge new high-end sparrows and upgrades. The possibilities are endless. Topic number 5 is group loot distribution. WoW has a really cool feature where the leader of a group can decide how loot is distributed when it drops from an activity. You can choose free-for-all, which basically just works like the current Destiny system. Each player gets their own loot individually. Then there's the option where the group leader can decide who individually gets the drop. This would be helpful in an organized raid environment or a guild or clan, especially if Destiny ever expands to more than 6-person raids. And the most interesting in my opinion is group loot, which enables a system where you either need, greed, or pass on an item. If it's something you really want for your build, you pick need. If you'd like it, but you don't really need it, then you pick greed. And if you don't care about it at all, or you just don't have inventory space to pick it up, then you pass on it entirely. Then there's a randomized roll for the item to determine who gets it. Need supersedes greed, so if you're the only person in the group who picks need, you'll get the item automatically. However, if 2 or more people pick need, then it rolls a random number between 1 and 100, and the highest roll gets the item. The reason I think this is cool is that you can help friends gear up quickly if they're missing important items for their build, while at the same time you can benefit from some of the pieces you get to sell even if you don't really need the item. I'd love to see a system like this be implemented into Destiny, at least for pre-made fire teams. This would also be a simple thing to implement because it wouldn't require a whole item trading economy or marketplace to be implemented before it's useful. Topic number 6 is open world PvP. My god, I've never been so terrified as nearly completing a difficult quest in WoW and seeing an enemy high-level alliance player coming towards me, unsure if they will be friendly or just decide to insta-kill me. PvP adds a level of intensity and thrill to the open world that is just so satisfying. If it was implemented into Destiny, then it would obviously need to have some sort of an opt-in system similar to playing on a PvP-enabled server in WoW, but for the players who are up for the challenge, it would be so interesting. It would also add a lot of weight to the faction system, which feels completely meaningless right now. Imagine if you're an FWC player and you have to decide if you want to challenge a new Monarchy Guardian on the field, or just let them pass. For this to work well, I imagine you'd have to greatly reduce the player versus player damage in open world PvP so that the battles took much longer than just a single sniper headshot to decide who wins. Implemented correctly though, I think this system would add so much intrigue to the Destiny world. Finally, topic number 7 is the general threat that enemies provide in WoW versus Destiny. In WoW, if your tank pulls too many enemies at the same time, your group is likely to wipe in a dungeon. If you're solo questing and you take on aggro from 2 or more high level enemies at the same time, you're going to be in big trouble. That level of threat just doesn't really exist in Destiny, except for very specific scenarios like world's first raid attempts with the contest modifier active. We've grown so strong as Guardians that basically nothing aside from bosses and PvE poses any sort of difficulty progressing through different areas. I personally miss the feeling of running my very first Halo missions on Legendary, where you had to take every enemy seriously. Now, I'm not saying that every single encounter should be this way, but it'd be nice if at least some parts of the non-raid PvE world possessed some sort of threat and weren't so mindless. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. What topics do you agree or disagree with me on? Leave a comment below to let me know. If you like this video, a thumbs up rating really helps me out, so I know it's worth the time to create videos like this in the future. Also, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss my next video. If you'd like to chat about this topic further, I'd love for you to come discuss it with me while I stream on Twitch. You can catch me over at twitch.tv/pattycakespc. I tend to stream most nights of the week. I also do a lot of PvP competitive help for PC players, so if you're looking for some help to get to 2100 and beyond, please stop by and let me know. Finally, if you're looking for a great Destiny community to play Shadowkeep with when it launches, my community Discord is growing fast and very welcoming to new players. You can find a link to join in the description. That's all for now. Catch you guys next time.